Can I ask as well what kind of coordination you're having with both Palestinians in Gaza? What are they calling for? I know that, for example, you've received a lot of support from people like Mustafa Barghouti, who has endorsed the march, the Palestinian politician, former member of the Palestinian National Legislative Council, physician, and others as well. And I think we should remind people, of course, that Israel's occupation and apartheid scheme is, of course, not limited to Gaza. And what we're seeing in the West Bank right now, what we have seen over the past few months, is the largest displacement, forced displacement of Palestinians since 1967, where we just passed the anniversary of the war, the 1967 war. And with just people being forced out of, especially in the north, in Jenin, Tulkarm, in Nablus. There's a curfew that was just instilled, and very vicious attacks on a daily basis by settlers and soldiers as well. But what kind of coordination do you have with Palestinians in Gaza, as well as with different movements? You mentioned that you were coordinating with the Freedom Flotilla, but can you talk about some of those connections?
We have, first of all, responded to a call that came to us from Gaza. So the main reason that we are doing all of this, because Gaza civil society believes that solidarity movements, they can mobilize and they can go to Rafah border. This is not something that just a bunch of white people thought, okay, let's go for a visit to cross the desert of Sinai and protest at Rafah. The independent workers committees in Gaza sent us a written statement calling for this action to happen, and we have responded. We opened the call for people to participate, and we are where we are today with more than 54 countries participating. And the same goes with also Palestinians who are living in Egypt, and also with Egyptian activists. We spoke to them. We asked what would be the best way for us to be able to do, and we are in direct communication, keeping them updated with the status of this mobilization, either in Gaza and Egypt. And we started to receive so many messages even from civilians in Gaza, telling them that that this is what we are trying to do, asking for their opinion, and then them in some of those cases sending us recorded messages, hoping that they can meet us on the other side of Rafah. We definitely wish that it will be possible for a ceasefire agreement to be in place in these coming days. What has been proven so far, unless there is a clear intention and demands and support from international community to force Israel to respect such agreements, it won't happen. And that's why we believe our pressure should be on those governments. Not sure if I covered both parts of the question. I think there was a second part, or
maybe the Freedom Flotilla and the Sumud Convoy.
yes, yeah. Well, it goes in the same effort of us wanting to do this global campaign, and we are not looking into a unique representation for Global March to Gaza. We are looking to be inclusive and to work with all other movements that are on the ground, mobilizing to break the siege. So we have a coordination channel opened with both the Flotilla movement and the Sumud Convoy. We have participated in the launch event for the Madeleine ship in Catania. We have discussed the communication strategy. We also been in contact with people who wants to join the flotilla, but there is no space for them, and they sent them other in our way. The same also goes with the Sumud convoy. I think this type of coordinations are important and essential, because it shows that regardless of the way that we are organizing, regardless of the structure that we internally have, we are open to work together, because we understand that this is the only way that we can have an impact. And it's very essential to be open to new strategies, open to hear different ideas, and not to enclose like within our sectarian groups, as it used to be for a long time, of how things should be organized. It has been very good experience, and I think we managed to have a big impact in terms of social presence with people coming from so many countries, because they are in a way like one or other group following one of those three movements, and so we managed to reach to a wider public that that wouldn't be the case if we only worked together. And also, it's very important to learn from the experiences that other movements have. The Flotilla, they have been there for so many years. They have been organizing. They have their legal strategy, their media strategy, and we just started to work together now. I mean, a few months ago, none of us had, or most of us, we haven't even talked to each other in any conversation because we have been very involved locally in what we do in Spain, in Germany, in France, in the US, in the UK, focused on our internal campaigns, focusing on our national mobilizations. And I don't know if Melanie agree, but this is, I think, this is where we should bring solidarity. This is the next level of us doing solidarity. We should focus on putting all the resources and efforts together in global campaigns. We have 80 countries, like organizations from 80 countries who shared their support and will organize activities locally. So in 80 countries globally at the same time, we have managed to put Gaza, siege, and genocide on the agenda of everyone that is involved in this process. And because people who are coming are so diverse, that you have people, the person who's working in a bakery, or the person who's working in a gas oil station, or the doctor, or the lawyer, or the activist, or a unionist, all of them together, they want to stop genocide. So you brought this to be a social issue. It's on the agenda of everyone who forms part of a civil society. And this can be the next big thing. Like, can be the way that we can organize and get all aspects of society involved. And we need it. Like, we didn't stop genocide. Any action that we do, how great it is, if it does not stop genocide, it's not enough. It means that we have to continue working harder. It means that we have to bring more allies and more strategies, because unless we stop genocide, there is no other solution. There is no stop point for us. Say, okay, now we can relax, we can take a break. People in Gaza are not taking a break. They are being starved. They are being without medicine, without housing, without water for so many months. And let's not forget, this closure and siege in Gaza has started in 2006. Those crimes that we are dealing with today, that it's being broadcasted for all of us, started 78 years ago. So now we have to put all of our efforts together and work strategically and globally to put an end for all these crimes. It just cannot keep going on. And Israel tomorrow might stop the genocide. However, if this is not directly connected to a stop to the occupation in Palestine, they will just come back again. I mean, they did bomb Gaza in 2014, they bombed Gaza in 2008, they bombed Gaza in 2020, in 2022. This is like, this is the thing for them. Like, every couple of years, okay, let's just start bomb people around. It has to stop. There is no other option. There is no alternative. There is no other reality that we can imagine ourselves being part of that does not include stopping occupation and genocide in Palestine.
Yeah, absolutely. I just would, if I may add also about, the Freedom Flotilla, so a couple of members are considering joining us in the movement after. We were very tightly connected with each other, and all of these movements, separately or together, are essential, and they are amazing, to be quite frank. I really think, as I said before, it's really impressive and unprecedented. That we have now this massive mobilization behind all of us.